vibes. What are vibes? According to the Oxford Dictionary, vibes are defined as, I don't know how to read, but I don't need to, when vibes are a feeling. Vibes are everywhere. You see two crackheads tweaking together outside a 7-Eleven at 2 a.m. Wholesome vibes. You walk past a small group of white people as a minority. Bad vibes. You watch as a loud, annoying child gets beaten in a grocery store for misbehaving. Good vibes. But in their purest, unadulterated form, vibes have always been chill. You can feel it in music, in the air on a light, breezy, sunny day, or on a shitty mixtape with a Bart Simpson cover. But you won't find a better place to find vibes than in Samurai Champloo. But before we can start, we need to go back. Way back. In an alternative Edo, Fu isn't an uncommon story. An honest, naive, clumsy girl who unfortunately lost her mother a year ago and never knew her father. But instead of turning out gay without a male presence, she gets taken in by the kind owners of a tea house and goes day to day with her simple life until that fateful day. Alfie Allen, the evil governor's evilly equal son, drops in to fuck shit up at the same time a strange, unkempt, sexy voiced swordsman walks in asking for a free meal. Of course, she has no time to entertain brokies, especially during such a tense scenario, but unluckily, her nerves get the better of her. What can she do now except be at the mercy of this man? No one else would dare to intervene, except maybe. Desperate, she calls out to the mysterious swordsman with an offer he can't refuse.
100 dumplings!
Oh, please, Governor! I beg you, sir!
A poor man is begging the governor for his job, giving up what little he had on him just to be rejected in order to be killed. All the people gathered around know this is wrong, yet are powerless to stop him and his bodyguards. What can he do now except be at the mercy of this man? No one would dare to intervene until a completely random stranger decides enough is enough.
Move it, will you? You're blocking the road.
This is where it all comes together. Enter Jin and Mugen. Mugen fucks. It was actually based on me when I was 16 in my head. The most classic example of a certified crash out. If he was around today, King Von would have stayed his ass at home. He's so fucking cool. He's loud, vulgar, violent, and ready to snap the moment anyone tells him what to do. He even loves women the same way I do.
You bitch. You little bitch. Little bitch!
He lives to survive, and his fighting style is what you'd expect, unorthodox and unpredictable. His moveset is based on playing fucking dirty. Knives in his sheath, metal plates on his sandals, and breakdancing. Can you imagine getting washed by a dude doing a headspin? That's tough. Jin really fucks.
Master Jean.
Cold, quiet, calculating, and slightly autistic. He's clearly based on me when I was 17. He moves so quickly you can barely make out his sword, and by the time you do, well... My pussy is soaked. His fighting style is orthodox and swift with that classic Bushido flair. He's the kind of guy to go, you either come in the piss or piss in the cum. And considering the big ass fish they just fucked, with, it's only a matter of time before their paths converge. Of course, the only rational thing they could do when they meet is... That sounds about right. Imprisoned and sentenced to death, it's looking like the end for these two. If not for one certain girl that decided they were the exact people she was looking for.
Oops.
And of course she fucks up. Now they're really on the chopping block. They could beg for their lives or grovel for mercy, but they'd rather die than go out pussy. They still haven't given up just yet, and neither has Fu. That's probably terrorism. Now owing her their lives, she seizes this chance to finally go on a journey. This is the Edo period, where a 15-year-old girl couldn't take more than 5 steps into the wild without risking trafficking, or bandits, or gay Europeans. I just said the same thing twice. The request is simple. Accompany her as her bodyguards to find the
samurai who smells of sunflowers.
Samurai
who smells of sunflowers. The samurai who smells of sunflowers.
Yes, we get it! The samurai who boofs sunflowers! Who the fuck knows what sunflowers smell like? I don't even think they have a fucking smell. What do you think is the first thing these two do after this proposal?
Sayonara, sweetheart.
Yeah, sounds about right. Samurai Champloo is about the trek our main trio take and the adventures they have along the way. This motherfucker don't miss! It's the classic Watanabe storytelling you've come to love and dick ride. A series from this man is like a Final Fantasy playthrough where you do nothing but side quests. The word Champloo itself is a play on an Okinawan phrase that means make shit up as you go. Each episode is a fun, new story about how these three do everything except what they set out to do. You never know what's going to happen next, and neither do they. Half the time they're just trying to find a way to not starve to death. I love this type of show. Avatar: The Last Airbender, Cowboy Bebop, Kekai Sensen, even something as criminally mid as Comet Lucifer, all kept me entertained because of the worlds they explore. If you're making a story with an all-new environment, why would you drop me down in the middle of bumblefuck Arizona? What the fuck is there to do in Arizona? It sounds about right. You get to sit by the characters through everything that happens. It gives us the chance to learn more and more about the people front and center and see crazy shit. And shit goes down. You got Jin playing shogi with random dudes for money, taking down assassins and working minimum wage. Mugen will get roped in by Yakuza. I'm pretty sure he just robbed some guys one time. Stop whole counterfeiting rings just for a chance at some epic cooch. He'll, what the hell? And Fu's average subplots are being a woman. Hey, I'm just saying how it is. I swear, the first like 5 episodes were her just getting kidnapped. You can't do this to me. You can't do this. Once you manage to get used to the antics of the first half, the second half will leave you like, damn. Some stories will plaster a big old smile on your face, while some will remind you that as dope as everything is, it can be just as cruel. When a recap episode is entertaining, you know you're watching something special. Mugen and Jin are two sides of the same coin, badasses who don't fuck with authority. Mugen lives for himself and Jin believes there's no lord worth a shit to serve. But you leave these two alone for a second and they either start fighting or fucking. That's where Fu comes in as the plot progressor and big sister for the group. I thought she was fucking annoying, always getting kidnapped over and over again because of stupid reasons, but over time I started to realize that if it weren't for her, the emotional highs would not hit as hard. Hell, they may never even happen. They're all individuals with nothing in common but a loose goal holding them together. A dysfunctional group, but that's what makes them a joy to watch. They're not just one note, they're complex with their own thoughts, feelings, and habits. So when Jin, who I thought was all, I will protect my virginity at all costs, gets the astigmatism beaten out of him just to turn a hoe into a housewife, you think, yup, that's what Jin would do. And it's all delivered in a sweet, action-packed package. The animation is slick and smooth. It's filled to the brim with a mix of Japanese and street influences. The fights are so sick and well choreographed. When a guy pulls out his sword, it's not all... It's more like the tender swipe of a loving mother's belt. The art has a beautiful, soulful, old-school feel with detailed environments and characters that are uniquely designed and memorable. I hate this shit! I'm so tired of seeing the same copy-paste black-haired dickhead in every single anime. I've seen him here, and this guy won't look like this guy, and that guy won't sound like that guy. The dub is so fire. Yakuza either sound like the most Japanese man you've ever met, or Italians.
Basically, I throw this little ball.
When Steve Bloom says,
all I knows now is that we're a filthy bitch,
I sit up and I listen. It felt like stepping into a time chamber. Imagine this, it's 2 a.m. in 2004. 9/11 is still fresh on everyone's minds. Facebook has a pussy-like grip on cringe millennials, and all of a sudden you're jolted awake. Or in this instance, you'd hear,
Tsunami, full cycle.
I never got to experience any of that magical period from when liking anime meant you were a sissy. I did manage to catch an episode of Naruto one time when I was 9 around 10 a.m. before getting smited down by rich, aggressive leather. So being older and able to watch this high as fuck late into the night really felt like catching a piece of history.
If you'd like to drown yourself, it would be wise to choose another location.
But if the show sounded like this, I wouldn't be watching as hard. The music! I wholeheartedly believe that this show wouldn't be what it is without its soundtrack. You've been listening to it the whole time. When Sneak Chamber comes in during fights, it's all bum, 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 bum. If you've ever heard any Annie-tuber talk about real life, you've heard Aurorian dance. Mistline plays, and you don't just know, you feel something heavy just happened. There's diegetic beatboxing while some guy is scaring the huzz, and when each episode closes, you feel the warmth of another day coming to an end as Minmi, God bless this woman, lets you know the episode is over. This is crack for niggas with Musashi PFPs and inner peace. That's why whenever you ask someone about what they like the most about Samurai Champloo, the top one answer is going to be the soundtrack. And because of it, I ended up going down a deep rabbit hole. I actually didn't want to make this part of the video because I know that it'll make it 30 seconds too long for anyone to watch, but I just had to. So if you don't want to hear me go on a nerdy music rant, skip here. Fat John, Suchier, and Force of Nature, among others, deserve all the credit and praise in the world for their work and discography, but I'd be remiss if I didn't glaze the man that changed a whole music genre with his own two hands. Nujabes. Nujabes, or Sebajun, simply loved music. He loved it so much that he'd open up his own record store in inner city Tokyo during a thriving music scene in the 90s, casually remix jazz, soul, and classic hip-hop tracks that he fucked with. This is the most low-key motherfucker who ever existed. How low-key, you ask? This guy put out a vinyl with a remix of an old Nas song in a shop without promoting it even a little bit, just leaving it there for people to find if they got lucky, without anyone knowing it was his. It's to the point where I could only find one actual interview he did for his first studio album, Metaphorical Music, an album that holds a special place in my heart and that I'm listening to as I write this. When he had a vision, he'd do everything he could to make it happen, even going as far as to instruct other artists he was working with on how he wanted particular parts of his tracks to sound. Shinichiro Watanabe himself specifically asked Nujabes to help produce the many tracks of the anime. That's goated status. He's also touted as the godfather of all lo-fi that exists today. And it's true. If it wasn't for him, I truly believe we wouldn't have gotten Joji, early Keshi, or the hip-hop beats that you relax and crank it to. I knew of him before watching, but with each song, I learned and felt the passion and care that comes from any artist that simply does it for the love of the game. I remember it was late at night after I'd done some research when I was listening to Highs to Lows featuring Cisse Star. I was outside at the soccer field near my house, just smoking a J and thinking about how to write this video when, out of nowhere, I started crying. I didn't know why. I wasn't particularly sad or anything, but I just had to. Later on, I realized I wasn't just listening to music. I was listening to a piece of someone's entire being, someone who loved doing what they do because they loved it. Something I think has been a dwindling concept in the landscape of art and creating today. It was also enchanting in a way I can't find all the words for. It reminded me why I started to make stuff, why I went back to making videos instead of streaming as my creative outlet. Because I love it. So I'm gonna keep creating until I can't create anymore. If that desire to do something has been crushed by the expectations of living, reignite it, hold on to it. Do what you've always wanted to do and make what you've always wanted to make, even if it seems hard or if you don't have the time. If you want to know more about the life of Nujabes from someone who isn't a bumbling buffoon, I highly recommend how the fuck do you pronounce this guy's video about his entire history? It's so good, man. Unfortunately, a fatal car crash would take Nujabes' life in 2010. Gone far too soon. But the love he put into his work lives on. Thank you, Samurai Champloo, for introducing me to this world I'd missed out on. Thank you, Uyama Hiroto, for keeping up the spirit of the sound from way back then. And thank you, Nujabes, for deciding to make what you love. Rest in beats. You were truly the best to ever do it. I hope you can see the mark you left on the world.
Samurai Champloo.
Samurai Champloo is the essence of vibes. It's the very definition of, it's about the journey, not the destination. There's so many memorable moments, characters, and stories that'll have you wanting more when it's all over. It's beautiful, enthralling, and just an absolute joy to watch. Check it out if you haven't already. You will get to the end of this anime and go, well, what the fuck? With the biggest smile on your face. I just fucking love shows like these, man. I can't believe I missed out for so long. Hey, it's Yoki. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, consider dropping a like, follow, and comment your thoughts on the show or the video. I'm also obligated to mention that I stream on Twitch from time to time, so if you ever want to hang out while I'm recording a gaming video, or just to hang out, consider heading over. I also have a Discord that I'll link in the description where I'll post regular updates on these videos if enough people come through. I also got a Twitter, but I wouldn't blame you for not caring. Never again will I give myself a 1-month deadline for a video like this. I fucking hate myself. But yeah, that's it. I'll see you next time. Peace out.